My wife can be brutal to me before her period. My wife and I have what we both consider a fairly typical marriage relationship. We generally enjoy each other's company, and also have friction points of the sort that are common for many couples: housework division, being better listeners, vacation planning, etc. Generally, we are able to work our way through these without too much trouble. But a handful of times a year, without any significant life change or cause, my wife absolutely explodes in rage toward me. She tears into me, on the same topics we sometimes have conflict on, but with 10x more intensity and not in a constructive way. "You are such a dick. I am going to leave you if you don't change X. I am so sick of your shit," etc. If I make any attempt to respond in any way, it just makes it worse. Her complaints are valid, but in my view the reaction is way out of proportion. The first time it happened, I thought, holy shit. My wife hates me with the burning of 10,000 suns and she is going to leave me. And then in a short time, things were back to normal. At some point I realized that every time this happened, she was a day or two before her period. I'm not sure what to make of this fact. I know PMS can be a truly awful experience for many women. One of my past GFS had to take sick days for hers. I know she is feeling awful, and at the same time I am tired of being the punching bag on these days. In the past, the best solution was for me to just make myself scarce during these times. But we have a kid now and I can't just take off anymore. It happened again last week, same schedule, and I am just feeling worn out from the verbal tirades. I am extremely hesitant to bring this up to my wife. I don't want to invalidate her legitimate complaints and just blame them on her hormones. At the same time, I am tired of being the punching bag. Obviously the first thing I should do is continue to try and improve myself on our problem areas. But it seems like no matter how well those are going, these episodes will continue. How can I bring this up to my wife in a healthy and constructive way? Any perspective or advice is welcome. Edit. I should clarify that the topics she blows up on are not consistent. There aren't 1-2 things she's always bringing up that I won't change. It's just whatever challenges are present at that time, big or small. That doesn't sound like normal PMS. Personally, I would sit down and have a conversation with her and start tracking symptoms or anything out of the norm. There is something called PMDD, but without a doctor you wouldn't really know. The PMDD sub may be helpful for general info. Honestly, how you've described this is verbal abuse. And it bears having a serious conversation. Your feels are just as valid. Hers are not any more valid because of hormones. I say all this as a woman with PMDD. Yes, the hormone fluctuations can be awful, but that doesn't give me the right to be an ass. PMS doesn't give your wife the right to be a raging asshat towards you. If I were you, I'd suggest marriage counseling and tell her that you're done being her PMS punching bag. I'd look up PMDD. I have personal experience through a family member. My fiancé, 32, keeps trying to postpone our wedding. I am supposed to be getting married in 10 months. My family is paying for the entire wedding, venue and caterers, photographer, etc. are booked. Every time my fiancé and I get into a small argument, he tries to postpone the wedding. I'm not sure what to do anymore. My parents are getting annoyed because they're paying for the whole thing and I don't want them to lose out on any money. It's also annoying that he keeps trying to postpone it for the dumbest things and it honestly scares me a bit. I've talked to him numerous times about it and all he says is, "It sucks your parents are paying for the wedding cause now we have no say on the date." However, my fiancé and I picked this date together and he agreed on it months ago. I've been feeling really down about this and not sure what to do next. So something goes a little sideways, a minor disagreement, and he threatens to push or call off the wedding. That's manipulative bullshit. Seems to me you two need to do some couples counseling and get this sorted before you get married. A wedding is one day. Stop worrying about the wedding and start worrying about the marriage. This behavior is emotionally abusive and it likely won't end after the wedding. There will be something else he withholds from you to get his way or hurt you. He has cold feet. Cancel it now before it ends badly and your family loses money. If I were in your shoes I'd be calling off the wedding myself. Either he really doesn't want to get married, or he's using the threat of ending the wedding as a tool to get his way in disagreements, which is fucked up. Don't think this will end once you're married. He'll just threaten divorce next. If he's having cold feet this early on then that's a red flag. Update: had a threesome with FWB, now she wants a relationship while I don't. So I told her what most of you guys suggested. that my desire for a serious relationship with her ended after she turned me down 2 times. She then asked me why was I saying that I would start a relationship with her in a heartbeat if she asked, so I lied and said I was joking. She also asked if the threesome had anything to do with my decision and I said no, my decision was made long before that. I don't think she was convinced with my answer but I stuck to it. She tried to argue that we will make a very good couple but I just told her it's not a possibility. I also told her that we should put our friendship on hold for some time till the feelings subside and we actually see each other as friends rather than possible romantic partners. It goes without saying that our FWB arrangement is done and I have decided that FWB is not for me. I can't keep feelings aside from sex and it would only be harmful to me. Thank you to everyone who chimed in with advice. First post. That's some very mature reflecting on your own feelings about sex and intimacy. Best of luck to you, mate. FWB relationships are nowhere near the food idea some people think they are. Eventually it will mess with your ability to have real relationships. She knows deep inside that it is because of the threesome. She turned you down twice, she made her intent very clear. Having a threesome has no bearing on it. You had the threesome because you saw no possibility of a relationship with her. Would you care if a friend won't pay you back $40? A month and a half ago, a friend of mine asked that I buy an $80 video game, and allow him to do what's called game sharing with me, connect his Xbox with mine, granting him access to all the games I own. He said he'd give me back half when he got paid. I've reminded him several times, he always says next week. I normally would have done this with no expectation of being repaid. But it's the fact that he volunteered to pay me back, then doesn't, that irks me a bit. I'm considering just kicking him off my console and being done with it. It'll hurt him even more since he's bought DLCs for this game I believe. Would you be pissed over $40? What's the lowest amount it takes for you to end a friendship? It's not about the money, it's about trust and integrity. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Give him fair warning that you do not appreciate this and if he doesn't pay you back by X date you will be changing your passwords and you will never trust him with anything again. He has money for DLC but not for paying you back? Boot him until he pays you. If he's paying for DLCs instead of paying you back I'd boot his butt off. I'd be pissed because of the broken promise, not necessarily because of the $40. Maybe he considers buying DLC paying you back? If you do decide to kick him off your console, give him some warning first so he has a chance to pay once he knows you're serious. I never lend money with the expectation of getting paid back. So, no, I wouldn't be pissed. But that being said, actions have consequences and he wants to keep playing, he better get you that money. I'd warn him that if he doesn't pay you back that you'll kick him off your console.